Namaste. How's it going? Meditation is directly linked with the various physiological processes we go through in a 24-hour cycle. And there are specific points during that 24-hour period where meditation is actually very potent. And particular about these processes is the production, circulation, and the absorption of the CSF, or the cerebrospinal fluid. In yoga, we call that the somarasa. In the past, I've given the detailed lesson on the anatomy, physiology, and spirituality of the somarasa, and how the practices of hatha yoga can amplify the force contained within the somarasa, so we can utilize these higher levels of electricity in awakening the dormant centers in the brain, leading to deeper meditative states, including Samadhi. So if you have the time, have a look at that tutorial so you can appreciate the science behind providence. But for today, let me refine that lesson by giving you more specifics. Yeah, and of course, backing up with science. Yeah. As a person, I'm a practical doer. Yeah, I have to practice the techniques more than the technicality, more than the practices themselves. But to be able for me to understand them in a more real life perspective, I have to do them over and over and over again. Yeah, until the essence is revealed to me, then I could explain them in a more closer and practical perspective. Okay. Now, our somarasa, or our CSF, is produced in the brain, in the ventricular system, and it flows down to the central canal. And the many benefits we harness from the health of this function include protecting the brain from mechanical shocks. So it cushions the brain. It brings energy from the body to the brain. As well as the somarasa, the CSF cleanses the impurities of our cranial cavity. So the somarasa is really very helpful when it comes to maintaining intracranial pressure, as well as the purity of the brain, and it brings energy in and out of the central canal. Now, in a 24-hour cycle, we produce a total of around 500 to 600 mil of the somarasa, cc's. And an ideal amount at any given time is 150 mil or cc's. Okay. So the samarasa goes through this continuing cycle of production, circulation, and absorption. And the optimum amount, so we can function healthily, and when it comes to that particular purpose, is 150 mil or cc's. Okay. So during times where the samarasa reaches the optimum level, there's a moment of slowing down. Okay. Not totally stopping of those functions, but slowing down of the central nervous system. Like the brain would like to take a quick recovery after doing its share of producing that optimum level of the somarasa. Okay. And this happens once in a 90-minute period. And the window is really very short, between 1 minute and 2 minutes. Approximately, safe to say, 90 seconds. So during that window where there's slowdown of the functions of the nervous system, yes, there's still circulation, there's still absorption, but a very minimal amount. That's actually where the right and the left hemispheres of the brain, they're the most balanced. All right, so in Hatha Yoga, that's the Ida and the Pingala, left and right channels. The left and the right nostrils, they're both open to absorb the breath, and the Sushumna, or the central canal, is at its most open state. there is equilibrium. Yes, there's real science to this. We go through a perfect state of balance once every 90 minutes. And then that window is a short one, between 1 and 2 minutes. All right. And internally, energetically, what happens there when the autonomic nervous system slows down? Yeah, the energy and the nadis, the two fundamental nadis, actually, yeah, intersects. Yeah, so our energy coils in like that. Yeah, and then every time they intersect in the middle, that's where the autonomic function slows down, and it happens once every 90 minutes. That's a perfect state of balance, the homeostasis. That's where meditation actually is very potent. Okay. So knowing that there's a stage, so how can we now pinpoint or detect our body clock to suit that energetic window, or I call them spiritual windows actually. All right. My body clock may be different to yours. All right. But of course, there are several 90-minute period in a day's time. So this will require, or this will need experimentation depending on your schedule and your day. All right. I'm an early riser. Yeah, I normally wake up 4:30 in the morning because I teach. Yeah, mostly in the mornings. I have to prepare my practice, and that's my nature. All right. So early hours of the morning between 4:30, 4:30, and 5:30, 5:30. That's where this energetic window is very open, even without you doing practices. So in the morning, I would just rinse my mouth, yeah, and I would perform pranayama. Yeah, that's the first practice I do in the morning. And then a lot of times I would find myself like drifting into absorption while I'm doing my Nadi Shodhana. All right, speaking of pranayama, the Nadi Shodhana is the technique I recommend the most when it comes to preparing your body for meditation. Yeah, my fingers are positioned either side of my nostril, but it's just there. Yeah, technically, my body is gestured like pranayam, but I'm not actually doing pranayam. But my mind, my internal mental faculties do the pranayam. Yes, so I'm like performing different tasks simultaneously, while the inner brain is open. Yeah, it's a really profound experience. Yeah. Those moments that we are not too conscious or sleeping, now those are like the points of samadhi. Yeah, so when you can control those intersections, the transitions we go through from consciousness from consciousness to unconsciousness, that's where the energy actually resurfaces, and then will flood and dominate the silent centers in the brain. All right. So there are moments. There are moments in the day that, for no reason, we just want to like shut down. Like we just want to just close our eyes and take a moment to breathe. Yeah. Sometimes we feel like a bit sleepy. Yeah, like you want to take a nap. Those are moments where you are actually experiencing the homeostasis, the intersection of the two fundamental nadis. All right. So those sensations are actually quite, I say, important and meaningful. Right? And we all go through this, through the 24-hour cycle. All right. Then my next cycle, my next energetic spiritual window happens after my morning sessions between 11 and 12 o'clock. There are times that I am teaching a class, but I could feel it already, something like that. So, and then the next window happens to me, between 1:30 in the afternoon and 3:30. And those are my spiritual windows. Yeah, they just happen. Yeah, like a normal part of me. Yeah, the moment that the time comes, I would feel energetically open. Good. And then the next window for me is during early hours of the morning, which is another potent window between 12:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the morning. And then all of my deep samadhi experience happened during those times. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, who meditates early hours of the morning? I'm not meditating. Yeah, it just happens to me in my sleep, most of it. Yeah, during those times that I know I'm still awake, but I could sense I'm already sleeping. Yeah, I am dreaming, but I know I'm not dreaming because I am fully aware of my surroundings. So that's where samadhi happens, actually. All right. So what do we make out of this? Yeah, that's more important, actually. So how do we plan our day? Okay. So not every one of us has the privilege to be doing yoga all day, right? So I'm lucky already because this is my passion. This is my job. Yeah, I teach yoga. Yeah, I teach fitness. So in times that I am not teaching, that's where I actually practice meditation. Okay, so even then, how do we plan now our structure? Okay, the physical technique should be treated separately from your meditation. All right, you don't want to be overstimulating the body right before meditation. So if you're practicing asana, practice asana, for example, in the morning. All right, before you work. If you work 9 to 6 shift, right, and then you do your meditation around 9 o'clock, 2 hours after your supper, yeah, and then that could be a good plan for you. All right. Or if you don't have the time in the morning, if you work early hours of the morning, you finish your day. Yeah. Do your asana after you work, before your supper, before your dinner. Yeah. If you do a class, that would suffice. And then take time for the food to digest. Do your pranayama, yeah, 2 hours after your dinner, and then you can do your meditation. That's a sound plan. All right. If you are just still limited, all right, so what you do is this: asana, first day, pranayama and meditation, second day, asana, third day, yeah, pranayama and meditation the next day. So alternating days, like you're doing a split workout or a split program. Okay. Asana should be separate from your meditation. All right. Pranayama, yes, you can practice pranayama before meditation. Okay. But when it comes to pranayama, as I've mentioned, yeah, do the Nadi Shodhana. There are many pranayamas. Some are too energizing. For example, Bhastrika, actually Bhastrika. Well, Bhastrika is half-half. I practice Bhastrika before meditation, but I just do the Bhastrika for like 2 or 3 sets and then shorter durations. Or I would practice probably 30 minutes of Nadi Shodhana. I do that, yeah, regularly, yeah, every day. I actually have 2 sets of Nadi Shodhana, yeah, every day, one in the morning, one at night. And then some nights I would do Bhastrika for 2 or 3 sets. That's all. I don't overdo Bhastrika. And then I will do my meditation. Something like that. All right. This will lead to some patterns. Yeah, patterns is important. In Hatha Yoga, patterns are important. All right. So we have to do these practices around the same time, day in, day out. Okay. So you don't want to be like practice in random times. Yeah. Like in a whim. Oh, I practice in the morning and then tomorrow I practice at 9. No. You have to practice uniformly, consistently around the same time of the day or of the night. Yeah, that's where you will feel your window. Because practices of Hatha Yoga, what they do, yeah, you increase your subtle vibration. Yeah, so you can prolong that state of equilibrium. And then when you meditate within that same period of time, every day or regularly, so your brain will find that rhythm and orientation, and then you can now sense that subtle state you go through during that state of meditation. It's a practice, really. Yeah, it's a practice. You do it consistently, until your brain, until your body stops seeking anymore, until your nervous system actually stop thinking of those techniques anymore, so you can be in that particular moment. So meditation, although the goal is to relax the mind, but when it comes to the discipline of Hatha Yoga, it's actually to awaken dormant centers in the brain. There are many meditation techniques. I cannot talk about them. Meditation, yes, it relaxes the mind, but deeply inside, you are awakening dormant centers there in the brain. And then this awakening of the dormant centers will lead to the refinement of your subtle awareness. And then you're going to utilize that new skill in stilling and not really controlling, but absorbing the mind. And then this will lead to other deeper ones, like to be able to control your transitions from being awake to sleeping, and even interact with your dreams. And then remain conscious while going through this deeper states of our consciousness. So yes, so you might be at the stage that, how do I plan my meditation? How do I achieve a deeper meditative states? You might be doing the techniques already, but you just have to rearrange them in a way that they suit your personal spiritual window. I'll see you in the next one. Namaste. Bye-bye.